Hey squad, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different, but before we get into that, if you are new here, my name is Kelly. I make 2 new videos every single week about secondhand shopping and our life as a family. If you enjoy this video, then you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe, and I would love to have you stick around here and be a part of our Yard Sale Squad family. So the day that I am uploading this marks 1 week until Thanksgiving here in the US. So what I wanted to just do today was talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and holidays in general. And as we move forward with 2020, 2020 has been a little different. So that may mean that your holiday plans look a little bit different. Thanksgiving may not be the exact same. Christmas might have some differences from years past. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go into specifics of my family and what we are doing and say that that is what you should be doing, because we each have different things that we are facing. We have people who feel different ways, and that's largely what this video is about. This year has been so polarizing, and we have just seen things from far left to far right, and sometimes there seems to be no middle ground. I think if you have God in your heart, you have that hope and that knowledge and that realization that there is a middle ground, even when it doesn't seem like it. And I think it's so important to just bring ourselves back to what really matters and why we are really here. So I know that the title was sort of attention grabbing. Obviously, I'm not a pushy person, but these are 2 things that I think will really help your holiday and family get-togethers from here on out. Additionally, it will help any sort of relationship that you're in. So the first thing to stop doing is under-communicating. If you go to any sort of counselor, if you ask for any sort of advice on marriage or relationships in general, you will hear a lot about communication. And I think the longer that I'm married, I realize communication is so important. It's almost impossible to over communicate. Without communication, it's easy to get wires crossed, and it's easy for things to be misunderstood. So applying that to your holiday get-togethers, the second point that I want to make is stop setting yourself up for unmet expectations. The other piece of relationship advice is it is not fair to expect something that the other party didn't agree to, right? So as badly as I want for my husband to be able to read my mind, after 7 years of marriage, I've realized that it's not going to happen. It's just not, right? So now going forward, I can state my expectations a little more clearly. It's not always a movie, it's not always a fairy tale, and you can't always expect someone to anticipate what you are thinking and adjust accordingly. Some people have that personality type, but some people do not, and you can't expect them to. So applying all of this to holidays, my main piece of advice is just to have the conversation beforehand about what you are expecting of the day. If you haven't already had this conversation with your family, if it hasn't already naturally come up, maybe take the horse by the reins and you be the person to say, hey, what are we doing this year? For your family, it may look very much the same. For your family, it may look very different from years past, and it may be undetermined because you may have people, like we said, who are on very polarized sides of issues. And I think it's just important to remember what is important to you. I think it's so important for us to keep in mind that our words and our actions are not just for us, but they are for the people around us, and they are for the people who are coming up behind us, and they see these things and they hear these things. So as you go into this holiday season, get the conversation started. We're 1 week away from Thanksgiving now. Talk to your family. If there are different opinions, see if maybe you can find some middle ground. Like I said, I know firsthand that it is almost impossible to over communicate, and when you do this, you lessen the chances for your expectations to be unmet or to be unrealistic. And piggybacking off of that, I think it is so important for us to remember here that Thanksgiving is a season. Thanksgiving is a way of thinking, it is a mindset, but it is also a season. It is not just a day. Christmas is a season, it is not just a day. So I think when we think of it this way, it takes so much pressure off of the actual day. It can be so hard as a wife, as a mom, to want the day to be perfect. You want the matching pajamas, and you want the breakfast to be perfect, and you want everyone to like the gifts, and you want everyone to remember the true meaning. The turkey may be a little drier than you planned, someone might be a little later than they said they were going to be, and you might run out of an ingredient that you swore you had enough of in the pantry. This is a gentle reminder to check your pantry staples. As we move into Christmas, that gift that you thought your child might have an over-the-moon reaction about, they might just have a lackluster reaction about. And so it's so important to remember to not put all of our hope in that, to remember that it is a season, and to not put all of this pressure on this one day. I had the thought the other day that if days had feelings, if each day was an actual living thing and had feelings, I think major holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving would just feel so much pressure and so much anxiety to perform and to be all that we want them to be. So that's about it. You know, we talk about having better communication, we talk about lowering your expectations and being realistic with those expectations, and also making those expectations known. But when it really comes down to it, all of this boils down to grace. It comes down to extending grace to other people. It comes down to extending grace to yourself. And I hope that those are things that you are able to do this holiday season. Also, just as a word of encouragement, if this feels weird or scary or hard for you to have these conversations with family members, just know that God laid you on my heart already, and that I have been praying for you, and I will continue to pray for you. I really do hope that you can find this place of peace where you have these conversations beforehand, where you search for a place of peace and try to quiet the chaos before it even starts. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. You'll have to let me know down below how you feel about this sort of coffee chat video, and if you would like to see more of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you will stick around for Vlogmas. That is going to be starting next month, and I will be doing a video every single day. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I will be talking to you in the next one.